Natalie, how are you?
Good. How are you, Jenna?
I'm great. Absolutely great.
That's great.
So, today we're back again with another peer discussion video. How do you feel like you went with your last DA?
Um, I took a very different approach for my DA this time. Uh, so I think I went well with it though, despite drifting away from the Peter Griffin idea towards the biker boyfriend style content. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how would you say you've been going with your DA for this last one?
Honestly, my last DA I really struggled with because I tried to do a non-digital, you already know, but I tried to do a non-digital media
Hmm.
DA, so do it physically, but unfortunately I ended up without the time or resources to be able to do it. So I just put a lot of research into figuring out how would I, because the non-DA was a non-DA version of, or non-digital media version of like my first one, which was the emergency templates.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of thought and research into like, okay, how would I actually do this
Hmm.
if, say, I had like a budget for it and if
Yeah.
I had the time and like the resources to be able to put into it. It didn't exactly turn out the way that I wish it would have, but that's on me for biting off, I feel like, a bigger DA than what I could handle in a short amount of time, even if we're only taking into consideration the progress updates.
Yeah.
What have you I already know, but what have you done with this DA that you feel is so different?
Like, I suppose what makes it so much different is what's it? I guess the purpose behind it. Like the first two were more like educational based. And I guess with this one, since it's like recreating that like generic biker boyfriend content you'll see online, I guess it's
Mm-hmm.
more satirical than anything. Like
Mm,
I'm going around online pretending I'm people's biker boyfriend.
yeah.
Like purely just to make fun of what's it? These people who strut around, those videos where, like people with the flowers like, grr, if only I had a girlfriend. Sigh.
Yes,
Great sport, by the way.
absolutely.
Like I think in that regard, it's so much different because, I guess general content wise, but I think in the actual creation of it, it's really similar because there is
Mm-hmm.
like a pattern to it, much like with the Peter Griffin content sort of thing. It is just kind of like
Yeah.
recognizing I guess, general patterns and themes and just recreating it. But I guess with mine, it was more of I'm having to adapt a lot of this content to what's it one uh make it so I don't actually seem like a woman in these photos because a lot of them is like thirst trappy kind of thing.
Yeah, I get what you
And
mean.
yeah, and I'm trying to pass off as biker boyfriend, not biker girlfriend.
Yeah, I understand that. I feel like sometimes, especially with social media, what exactly is the media format that you've gone with for
A lot
this
of it,
DA?
a lot of it is it's an Instagram page at the moment, and a lot of it
Mm-hmm.
what's on there is photos of not only my bike but also like me on the bike, kind of. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for this, I really wanted to keep my anonymity with it because, you know, kind of
Reasonable.
reasonable given what it is. Um,
So
so
is it leaning towards viral media in
I
terms
would
of exploration themes?
I would say more template media personally, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of what I've done so far is actually like directly recreated certain photos and stuff that I've seen people do.
Okay.
Um, like just to play into that satirical thing. Even like the name of the Instagram itself, um, is just because like every biker boyfriend account online has either like blank rides or blank moto in the name, like dancing moto that that one Instagram account. got arrested recently, and then there's Ash Rides down in Melbourne. That guy.
Hmm.
They both do this biker boyfriend content, but like every Instagram account has like the same formatting name, and so like even that has been like copied for this Instagram account name.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I personally, I love the idea. I think it's a really fun DA to put time and effort into exploring, like the concept that you've come up with.
Yeah,
Especially doing it from a satirical perspective, that I feel like a lot of the people that are doing this not for a class at university may be doing it seriously.
yeah.
So you get a different, I guess, experience and perspective than they would while still putting out the same media. So that's really cool.
Hmm. And I feel like it uses a lot of the same skills as well, like in terms of
Mm-hmm.
like digital creation. So I guess my first two DAs have really helped with it. Would you say there have been some transferable skills with your own DAs?
I would say yes and no. Definitely the use of actual digital, not as an exploration theme, but just the progression of using digital media. Like this DA, I have gone with AI media as my exploration theme.
Hmm.
But even, using that and then prompting, getting all that imagery that I was after, because, as you know, I have essentially taken prompts describing recurring dreams that I've had
Hmm.
just throughout my life and put them in and tried to bring it to life through like photorealistic AI
Oh
generated
yeah. Hmm.
images, using Google Gemini. Um, Being able to then, make a template, which goes back to my earlier use in the first DA as for template media,
Hmm.
making a template, but not having that be my DA. Like, I feel like I now have the skills and the capacity to do that a little bit easier than when I first started
Hmm.
exploring that theme in the first place. So being able to bring that in, unintentionally, really, with my use of AI media in this exploration phase, I feel like that's definitely helped.
Hmm.
But generally, my concept this time around has been quite different. It's been a lot of prompting and trying to basically still using human centered design, but what if I could do that by collaborating with artificial intelligence to get the job done? Like, as if you would, the way that we're collaborating right now,
Hmm. And would you
but we lose
say,
part of the human aspect, obviously. But
yeah, but would you say that like this use of AI is like accurate to what, the prompts are, if that makes sense?
I would say, like, in terms of whether it's sort of meeting what I've said in the prompts,
Hmm. I guess so, yeah.
one big issue that I have had with doing this DA is that obviously AI can do a really, really good job with things, but there is a limit to how accurate you can get things to be, especially when using free services, say like Midjourney or Google Gemini. It's a lot of
Hmm.
playing around, and even then, sometimes you still can't get it to exactly what you want it to be.
Hmm.
So with this, for example, it's not just positive dreams that I've done. I've also done, I was one of those kids that had nightmares all the time. So I, one issue I faced was I have one very distinct dream, that is now represented in a AI generated image where I'm a child, I'm in a car, I'm in a van, specifically combi with a great white shark who's just so happy, smiling, except he's driving us like up a cliff to go off the cliff. And Google Gemini, if I put in the prompt, a girl screaming, it will not. Google Gemini has filters in place to prevent people from basically generating images with certain actions being done by minors.
Mm.
So the closest result I could get to it being correct was I had to change my prompt from, a girl screaming in fear to they're screaming because they're excited. So the photo isn't super accurate because obviously in this dream as a very young child, I was terrified.
And not screaming for excitement and going off the cliff, like.
Yeah, exactly. So now the final image and the closest thing I could get, because everything else is really accurate to my dream, like ridiculously accurate to what I can recall, except for the emotion of the child, which I feel like is the biggest giveaway for, okay, this is visually representing what my dream was.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of back and forth with that specifically, or even one of the other images that I've generated where a teenager is climbing up a sand dune and there's a tsunami coming, but the tsunami, for some reason, like the wave, I have not been able to, no matter what I try, no matter how I write a prompt, I have not been able to get the wave to face in the same direction as what the girl is. So, like, imagine two people, the two of us, walking in a straight line, one
Right.
behind the other. We're both facing the same way versus us walking past each other in different directions.
Oh, so you want them both like,
I want them both facing in the same direction, not like
right.
each other. Like, I don't want the wave coming from one side of the screen when the girl's going the other way. It just, like, is she running over an island to continue into the ocean? Like, why is the ocean in the land? It doesn't represent very well, but it did get the emotions right, which is something that I wasn't able to do with the first image, which is interesting.
Though in saying that, I think like the generative AI kind of has the issue of like overplaying certain aspects. Like sometimes, like I guess in that case, it's like refusing to like flip the person around. Because there's a certain drama to like facing the wave, I guess. Like, or at least that's been my experience with like similar uses of generative AI in that way. Like it
It's
looks,
further dramatized.
yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I find that genuinely the only real issue I have faced with this DA in particular is being able to prompt correctly. And I did try a few different forms of AI before I settled with Google Gemini, which isn't like a traditional one that a lot of people use, but I have been able to use it quite successfully for most generated images. I have used it in one of my marketing classes, for example, for
Oh yeah.
because we were allowed to use AI to create packaging for a product. So I ended up settling back with that and I was quite happy with it. But unfortunately, this is as accurate as I could get it.
I think doing prompts for AI is like a skill in itself at this point. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely something that thankfully is teachable and we do learn in each of these classes. It's just unfortunate that unless you are actively paying for a subscription to, if you've seen the Sora AI videos of Jake Paul, for example, that YouTuber. I assume you have. Yeah, that obviously costs a decent bit of money to make those videos happen. It's not a
those
free
videos
service.
of what's it? Bear at the door and he blasts milk in the person's face, like those videos.
Yeah, and he says, I'm geeked. That could be a whole other DA in
Like
itself.
like generative AI subscriptions are so expensive.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the one problem I'm finding with this. Like, if I had the capacity to have done this for this DA, then I would have.
Hmm.
But AI in general for DAs, there's so much you can do, but I do feel like it was in this case a little bit limiting
I
because I
found the
know
same
that
with
there's
my
better
last
AI out
one.
there.
I found the same with my last one because, with the AI voice, it is so hard to get find a website that will let you do it for free for more than 10 seconds at a time
Yeah.
and actually sound like, what you want it to sound like. I found
Or
one,
you're limited to certain like linguistic patterns, like certain
yeah.
accents or certain tones.
And I found this one website that was doing like $200 a year subscription.
Wow.
And I can imagine someone's doing it for like an actual job or something, or maybe like in the classroom where they're going to use it every day for like all sorts of different stuff. But like for the average person who just wants to create a DA, I think it's quite restrictive.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's there's so many different exploration themes that you can use for DAs, and every single one is fantastic and has its own individual merits. But just like everything in life, once you reach a paywall, it gets a little bit difficult. So I definitely think like if I was able to tell people doing this subject, say next semester or later down the line, or any subject where, you may find something that does have a paywall, even academic references, for
Mm,
example, like citing certain documents, definitely do your research to find the best one that you can. Like, give yourself the time to
yeah,
find a really good source of media that doesn't have a paywall in front of it, because they are out there. They just can be very difficult to find, unfortunately.
yeah. But like, I feel like once you do find it though, it's great. Like, it's just wow, it takes so long.
Yeah.
I think for my last year, I spent like hours just combing through different AI voice websites.
I really wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I did leave when I was looking for different forms of AI to use. I actually left that out of this DA because I was just playing around with it in my spare time, like at work, to sort of look for something to get started with.
Hmm.
And that was like 2 weeks of looking. It was a long time searching, I guess, for the right, like,
Yeah.
software to be able to do it with.
Like if you were to use, say, like, that like CAI thing, like the character AI, you can talk to different characters and stuff, like role play sort of thing.
Yes.
Like I think that sort of generative AI could have served your purpose, but at the same time, it would also go on its own little tangents.
Yeah, there's only so much control that you can put over it when it's a one-to-one conversation.
Hmm. So I think, yeah, using like image-based AI was like probably your best move for your goal for your project.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. But otherwise, do you have any sort of last bits of feedback, any final things to say about this DA or other DAs that we've been looking at?
No, I don't think I do. Do you?
No, I think we really covered everything.
Hmm.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for the peer discussion again today. It's always a great time.
It always is.
And I really look forward to